Hi everybody, this is my very first yoga video. I designed this practice to be accessible for all levels. For a lot of the poses, there are different variations that you can do. If the one I show you initially is not comfortable, I'll show you ways to take it deeper or make it easier. Another thing you might notice in this practice is that I have my grippy socks on. This is one of my yoga hacks for winter. A lot of times it's too cold to be barefoot, which is what we usually have for yoga. And if you put on regular socks, they slip around all the time. So if you've ever been to a bounce house or a trampoline park and they gave you grippy socks, that's one of my favorite things to have for wintertime yoga. Okay, here we go. Okay. First pose we're going to do is Samastiti, standing posture with hands in prayer position. There's a couple reasons we start out here. The first one is that having the hands here gives us a little bit of extra awareness of our breathing. So in this pose, not only can you hear yourself breathing, but you can also feel the rise and fall of your chest. And that's one of the themes I want to have throughout this whole practice, is that if you're ever in a posture and you cannot hear yourself breathing, please modify the posture so that it's slightly more accessible and slightly simpler. Okay. The other reason we start with the hands in prayer is that this is the time when we set the intention for the practice. So if you're hoping to get stronger or more flexible or just release some stress or just hang out with me for the next 25 minutes, at this point, decide what you want from the practice and say your intention to yourself. Okay. On your next inhale, I want us to reach the hands up overhead, cradling your head between your upper arms. On your exhale, engage your core as you lean forward. Make sure you contract your abs so you don't hurt your back. On an inhale, stepping the feet back to plank. On your exhale, lower down into push-up position and go all the way down, chest to the floor. Slowly peel your chest up. This is cobra. Okay? On your next exhale, slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. This is where the groupie socks really help. Okay? Align your tailbone, make sure it's pointing exactly where you want it, straight back between your legs. Okay? On your next inhale, stepping back, you can take as many steps as you want to come back to the top of your mat. Stay in a ball for just a moment before you exhale, straighten your legs. Okay. Inhale, look up, halfway. Exhale, fold down. On your next inhale, contract your core again as you reach up. Engage your core on your way back up. Cradle the head between your upper arms and come back down to prayer. I'm going to practice that sequence one more time. Inhale, reach up, cradle your head. Exhale, fold over, engage your abs as you reach down. Inhale, stepping or jumping back to plank. Exhale, push up. This time, if you'd like, you can do cobra again, or you can put yourself into upward facing dog. On your next exhale, roll back on your toes into downward facing dog. Okay. In this position, if it's too much to have your knees straight, you can always have them slightly bent. You want to have a straight line going from your wrists all the way to your tailbone. On your next inhale, bring your feet back up to the top of your mat. Stay crouched for just a second. Okay, exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. And engage your core to come back up. Cradle your head and bring the hands back down to prayer. Nice job. Okay, the next sequence is going to start out the same way, but then it's going to change in the middle. Okay. On your next inhale, reach up overhead, engage your core to come back down. And on your inhale, step or jump back to plank. Exhale, push up. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Finding that line from the wrist to the tailbone, bending your knees if it helps. On your next inhale, I want you to Straighten your left leg up behind you as far as you're comfortable. And then bring the foot back in between the hands at the front. Okay, this is runner's lunge. On your next exhale, I want you to anchor your back foot and come up into warrior two. On an inhale, anchor your right elbow against the back of your body as you reach your left arm up. Straight line from the middle of your middle finger all the way down through your tailbone. Exhale, cartwheel back down. Hands come to earth. Transition back to plank. Here comes your push-up. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Finding those lines, making them as long as they can go. Okay? On your next inhale, anchor your left foot. Point your right one back up into the sky. And on an inhale, bring that right foot up between the hands. Holding runner's lunge just for a moment before you anchor your back heel and come up into warrior two. On your inhale, anchor your left elbow against the side of your body as you reach the right hand up. Straight line from your middle finger all the way down through your tailbone. On an exhale, cartwheel back down. Hands to earth. Transfer your weight back. Putting your foot back in plank. Okay. Exhale, push up. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. And roll it back into downward facing dog. Okay. Stepping or jumping back to plank. If you choose to jump, make sure you put your heels up high like a donkey. It'll make it much easier to jump. Stay low for just a moment. Okay. On your exhale, straighten those knees. Hang, let your head be loose. Inhale halfway. Okay, nice long line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Exhale, float back down. And then remember to engage your core. Coming back up, cradle that head again. And then coming back to prayer position. Nice work. On your next inhale, reaching up. Going a little deeper than you did last time. Engage your core, coming all the way back down. Okay. Inhale to plank. On your push-up, similarly to the way that we cradled the head, use your elbows to cradle your body so that your body's squeezing down between them. Inhale, look up. Exhale, back down to downward facing dog. And rest there for just a moment. See if those heels can come a little bit lower now than they did the first few times. On an inhale, anchor your right heel. Bring the left foot up as high as it will go. And then bring the left foot to the outside of your left hand. This position is called lizard. If you're comfortable here, just hang out until I tell you to go somewhere else. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can transfer down onto your forearms and roll your foot slightly away from your body. Okay. On an inhale, if you're on your forearms, just transition back up to your hands. Okay. Inhale, bring your left foot back to plank. Here comes your push-up. Cradle your body with those elbows. Looking up at the sky. And then transition back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, anchor your left foot. Point your right foot up as high as it will go. Nice straight line from your right toes to your tailbone. And this time bring your right foot outside your right hand. Lizard on the other side. Give yourself a chance to feel the stretch. If you'd like, you can come down onto your forearms and roll your front foot away from your body. On your next inhale, transition back up onto your hands. Bring your right foot back to plank. Here comes that push-up. Cradle your body with those elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Roll it back to downward facing dog. Hang your head. Let your sternum fall towards the floor. On your next inhale, stepping or jumping back to plank. If you jump, make sure you have those heels go high. Okay.
On your next exhale, straighten those legs. Hang it on down. Inhale, halfway lift, making the head go as far as it will go, far away from your tailbone. Exhale, fold down. Okay. Inhale, reaching up, engage those abs, do not let them go. All the way up to the top, cradle your head, and then come back onto prayer. Very nice. We have one more set like this before we do balancing poses. Okay. Last one from this set. Inhale, reach up. Almost touching the sky at this point. Okay. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, back to plank. Okay, you know the drill. Exhale, push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Okay. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. As you know, anchor your right foot, stretching that left foot up as far as it will go, probably farther than you did previously. And this time when you bring your left foot forward, your left knee is going to go behind your left hand. Your left foot will go behind your right hand. Settle down into pigeon. Wherever you are in this pose is fine. If your waist is on the ground, that's perfect. If you're up here, no problem. Whatever's comfortable for you. So you might be just happy where you are for this posture already. If you like, there's a couple variations you can take. You can fold forward over your bent knee, resting your head on your hands, making a little nook for your tummy to fit into nicely. Okay. And if you'd like one additional challenge, you can come back up, find your upright posture, bend your back foot, and see if you can grab it. This is mermaid. Okay, so wherever you are, just give yourself a chance to settle. Think about your intention from the beginning. Hear yourself breathing. On your next exhale, release whatever posture you're in. We're going to leave this posture slightly differently than the others because this one is so intense. So on this one, I want you to gently roll to your left to release that tension in your hip. Okay? Once you're there, gently put yourself back in plank. Okay. All right, find yourself in plank. Find your push-up going down to upward facing dog or cobra. And on your next exhale, roll back on those toes and find your downward dog. We don't have too many more downward dogs in this practice, so really enjoy this. Okay? When you're ready, anchor your left heel. Bring your right foot up to the sky, wherever it will go. And bring it forward, right knee behind your right hand, right foot behind the left hand. Okay, finding whatever variation of pigeon is most comfortable for you. You can be upright like this. You can be folded over with your head resting on your hands. If you'd like, you can be back in the upright position, stabilizing your weight with your right hand in the front, bending your back leg, and pulling it towards you. On your next exhale, release the posture that you're in and gently roll onto your right side. Okay, very carefully. Very nice. All right, from plank, everybody, I want you to do your push-up and lower all the way to the ground this time. Okay, everyone do a cobra with me. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Aim your tailbone back between your feet. Release. From there, push up with your hands all the way back into child's pose. Give yourself a little rest. Let that head hang down near your knees. Gradually make your way to downward facing dog. Okay. Walk the dog a little bit. Alternate your heels, being on the floor, feeling the rolling motions in your knees. Okay, on your next inhale, bring your feet back to the front. Okay. Exhale, straighten your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back here. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, get that core ready as we come back up. Cradle your head in between your upper arms before coming back to prayer. Nice job. Our next series is going to be one set of balancing poses. Okay. For the next set, you're going to transfer your weight to your left foot. I like to aim my tailbone toward my left heel. That is my favorite way to stay balanced. When you're ready, you're going to peel your right foot off the ground and try to carve out a straight line in the air with your right knee. Okay? Flexing your right foot, moving it around a little bit. Okay. When you're ready, keep your left hand in prayer position, but use your right hand to grab your right ankle and pull your right foot toward your glute. If it's helpful, you can find a point on the wall ahead of you as your focal point. Okay, from here, you can stay here if you want. If you want an added challenge, you can bring your left foot also towards the same ankle. Sometimes it helps if you pull your elbows out to the sides. For one added challenge from this posture, you can add a slight micro bend in your left knee, the standing knee. Bring your left hand back to the front. As you raise your left hand above your head, you're going to raise your back foot straight into the air. Dancer pose. As high as is comfortable. Using your focus. And coming back to center, try to retrace your steps. Try to move in the same pockets of air that you used to go into the posture. Okay. As you release, bring your right knee back up to center. Okay. And release the right foot down. Do a quick vinyasa in between. Inhale, reach up, cradling your head. Find your core strength to let you go down safely. Transferring your weight to your hands to move into plank. Exhale, push up. You can do either cobra or upward facing dog. Rolling on back to downward facing dog. Relax there for as long as you'd like. Stepping or jumping back to the front of the mat. Okay, finding your little cosmic egg here. Okay, straighten those knees. Hang your head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold back down. Use your core to get back up. Cradle your head. Coming back down to Samastiti. Let's repeat on the other side. Aim your tailbone toward your right heel. Peeling your left foot up, carving out a straight line in the air with your left knee. Rotate your foot, get a little bit of comfort in your ankle. When you're ready, you're going to keep your right hand in prayer position this time. Bring your left hand to the left ankle and pull that left heel towards your glute. If you'd like the added challenge, you may now release your right hand and bring it also to your left ankle. pulling out the elbows to the sides if that's helpful. For the final variation, you can bring your right hand back into prayer. Raise your right hand up above your face as you bring your left toes toward the sky. Slowly release, retrace your steps, moving that knee and that hand back through the same pockets of your that you carved out the first time. As you release, bring your left knee back up in front of you before you release back to earth. Very, very nice. This is our last vinyasa. Make it count. Reaching up, slow motion, engaging that core, falling and diving back down, really deep this time. Okay? Inhale, bringing your feet back to plank. Let's make this push-up count. Up into upward facing dog. Roll back to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, you come down to a seated position. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself the hug you've been waiting for. Finding the length in your spine, curling your tailbone underneath. If it's comfortable, you can roll directly back from this posture onto your back. You can go just straight there, okay? If it's not, you can just let go and then meet me back on the ground in, in a lying down ball. Very nice, okay. Give yourself a chance to roll around a little here, massage your lower back. Very nice. When you're ready, you're going to plant your feet on the mat as close to your glutes as is comfortable. Okay. And now we're going to let the legs do what they do best, which is lift up your core. So this is what the legs are really good at. On your next exhale, transfer your weight into your feet as you peel your waist, your back, all the way up through your shoulders. Peel those up off of the ground. Really see how high that waist can become. If it's comfortable, you can bring your hands together and squeeze your elbows toward one another underneath. Making a nice long straight line from your knees all the way to your chest. Make sure you can hear yourself breathing. And on your next exhale, you can release that back down. Bring your knees back in the chest before we do our final series. Okay. We're going to finish with supine twists. So you're going to let your knees fall to the left side as you extend your arms in both directions and look over your right shoulder. If this is comfortable, you can stay right here. If you'd like a slightly more advanced twist, you can wrap your right leg around the left before you bring them over to the side. If you need a little bit more, that will deepen the posture a little bit. Listen for your breathing. We'll do one more cycle here. On your next exhale, untwist the legs if you have them folded. Gradually bring them back to the middle. Hug your arms around them one more time before you let them fall to the opposite side. Knees to your right side, looking over your left shoulder this time. If you'd like, you can take the pose one step further by wrapping your left your left leg around your right leg. Okay. Before you go into the twist. If this is uncomfortable, you can always throw some pillows underneath your shoulders or your knees just to get some stabilization. If your legs are in a fold, release. Bringing those knees back into the center. And releasing your legs down to the bottom of your mat and your arms to the sides for the final posture, Shavasana. And this is a unique posture in that all the movement in this posture comes from gravity acting on your body. So there's no voluntary movement in this posture. It's just gravity acting on you and letting your feet fall to the sides and letting your fingers curl in, letting your arms and your back settle into the mat. Checking in with the different parts of your body, listening to the changes that took place during the practice. Noticing any new flexibility or any new strength that you didn't know you had. Giving yourself a chance to feel heavy. Forgiving yourself for any mistakes that you think you made. Preparing for everything that's coming today. When you're ready, you can gradually bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. Rolling everything onto your left side. Finding the fetal position, feeling the heaviness of your head, and then using your arms and your hands to gently push yourself up into seated position. Make sure that the head is the last thing to come up. Very, very gradually find yourself back in easy pose. Okay. Give your head a lot of time to find upright posture. This concludes our practice. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again on the mat very soon. Namaste.